I'm Cape Joel, and this is Comic Smack, your weekly, daily, all the time, anytime comic show where I give you your fix of everything you need to know from the world of comic books and superheroes. And on today's show, we're taking a closer look at Spider-Man 2 issue number 5. Will the 616 Miles complete his mad dream of crossing on over to another universe? Will our heroes be able to stop him? Well, let's hop on in together and find out, shall we? Okay then, so as the comic opens up, our two Spider-Men, Miles and Peter, return to the building that's been at the epicenter of all this portal activity from the beginning of the story. It's also kind of awkward for the two heroes right now as they had a big fight in the previous issue and are both feeling pretty bad about the things they did and said. Peter's the first to apologize for snapping at Miles, saying he knows full well how hard it is to be a teenager and a superhero. After all, he did it himself, and oftentimes he wonders if it's even responsible for Miles to have to suffer through the same pressures that he did as a young man. Miles apologizes too, saying that he hasn't exactly been himself recently, that he has perhaps started to wonder what life could be like without being a superhero. But at the same time, he's happy to have Peter as a friend and to carry the torch of Spider-Man into the future and all that good stuff. This heartwarming conversation is cut short, however, by the re-emergence of Taskmaster. Admittedly, the two Spider-Men had no idea of knowing Taskmaster was going to come back to this building, but hey, he did, so good on them. Furthermore, as I stop and think about it, neither Miles nor Peter actually know what's going on right now and what's been at stake this whole time. By working together and pooling their unique abilities, the two Spider-Man are able to overwhelm Taskmaster, Miles sneaking up behind him and giving him a full-force Venom blast. Oh, but that's not the end of the story, because Taskmaster was never the villain here, was he? It was Miles Morales of the 616 universe who wants to cross over into what he believes to be another universe where his wife is still alive. And our heroes attempt to stop him for some reason, even though what he's doing isn't very illegal. In fact, none of what he's been doing up until now has actually involved Peter or Miles. This guy just happened to hire Taskmaster, and Taskmaster can't stop but getting into fights with superheroes, can he? Other Miles shoots good Miles, before eventually bringing the entire mysterious building down on top of our heroes. They manage to escape, and we get a nice little allusion to the Master Planner arc with Spider-Man lifting his way out of all the rubble. So how exactly is this other universe that evil Miles fought so hard to get to? Well, it's just the Ultimate Universe, literally down to the Triskelion and everything. Well, okay, it's kind of like the Ultimate Universe. His wife is alive, but there's a couple other things that are pretty different. Mainly, Peter Parker is still Spider-Man, Riri is Iron Man of this world, and Thor still has his own hammer, even those things couldn't possibly be possible anymore, what with the events of the Ultimate Universe getting destroyed. But hey, there you have it, the Ultimates live again, kind of, sort of, maybe, in a way. And with that, the day is saved, even though when we stop and think about it, the day was never really at risk, was it? Miles talks shop with his friend Gank and decides that he will take that girl out from the very first issue. Some people online have interpreted this scene to mean that Miles doesn't want to be Spider-Man anymore, even though his own solo book is continuing and he's going to be in a movie coming out, so I don't know what they're reading into this. So that was the finale of Spider-Man 2, everybody, and once again I'm left asking the question, was any of that ultimately worth it? Everyone's freaking out about the return of the Ultimate Universe, but as I stated, it's not really the Ultimate Universe you remember, is it? Just one that kinda looks like it. Heck, from what I understand, this isn't even the first book to tackle this issue. Al Ewing's Ultimates and even X-Men Blue did some stuff in this other Ultimate Universe, but chances are you probably didn't read those books. I know I didn't. This seems even weirder now in retrospect, knowing that this is going to be one of the last books Brian Michael Bendis wrote for the Marvel Universe, backdoors his baby pet project back into existence before leaving to go write for the competition. Also, despite being called Spider-Men 2, at the end of the day, it was barely about Peter or Miles at all. It was about this older Miles and him trying to get back to his wife. Heck, come to think of it, our two heroes barely had any interactions with this guy at all and didn't even know what he was up to until the very end. In fact, I still don't think they know what happened. At the end of the day, is this story worth reading? I guess only if you're super interested in the Ultimate Universe, and even then, I think only time will tell if other writers care enough to pick up where this story left off.
off. Overall, I'd give this a 5.5 out of 10. It's not bad, but it's almost instantly forgettable, and that's a problem. So that's Spider-Man number 2, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, be sure to take a look at some of these other videos I've been working on from throughout the week. Then you can follow me on Twitter at CapeJoel so you always know what videos are coming out next. And hey, if you like what I do and are feeling in a supportive mood, please by all means check me out on Patreon. Patrons get exclusive access to videos and content before anyone else, and they can do so for as little as $1 a month. So until next time, this has been CapeJoel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again later. Bye-bye.